And we're live, Q&A with Alan and Marshall. That's my DJ voice, by the way. I'm Marshall Atkinson.
My DJ voice is always the same. I'm Alan Howe with Easy Way Systems.
And happy Friday, everyone. I had such a fantastic week. I think it's going to be a beautiful weekend. Life's good. What's going on with you, Alan?
I'll tell you what, man. I am as busy as can be. I am actually home this week in Michigan, meaning home, but was gone for 2 days.
Right.
Traveling, and I don't think it's the last 3 to 4 weeks I've been out on the road. Things are opening up. Things are happening. Almost like I am flipping schedules, and we got good things happening here at Q&A that we can't announce yet. But people, shh, next week. Listen, watch next week. So, but man, it has been great stuff.
At the seams.
Oh, going nuts. Yeah, just so much fun. You know what, Marshall, it's going to be a fun year, I think, just for the industry.
Yeah.
I want us to get to a place where I hope it's October, November. We're going, COVID what? Let's just keep going. Print shirts, make money.
COVID.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, so before we get going, let's say hey to a couple people. And if you're watching right now, please, please, please say hello. We want to know where you're from. And then also remember, this is the Q&A show. The Q part comes from you. The A part comes from us or from other people watching. So you need to make sure that you're commenting. That's how this show works. And then do us a favor right now and please share that you're watching the show, because we're trying, frankly, it's self-serving here. We're trying to build our viewership and we need the shares. So please share that you're watching, okay?
And you know what? We have found our numbers go up the more people share. And not just us.
So, go up, by the way.
So I hate to say it, Marshall. It's not about us. We're depending on you guys. Come on.
Yeah. So let's say hey to a couple people. Jim's watching. Hey, Jim. Kisa, good morning, Kisa.
Yep.
Ghost is watching. Hey, by the way, I answered you on Facebook, Ghosta. So I'm not sure what you meant by your question. So please retype it and explain yourself better. I know it's probably a Swedish to English challenge, but, happy to help. Simon says, good morning, Jen.
Morning, Simon.
Shane's here. Good morning, Shane. Mark's here. I wonder what.
Well, I'll tell you what it is with Mark. If you guys haven't seen, Mark Soldonic got a haircut a couple weeks ago. Yes, he did.
No.
So there it is. The cat's out of the bag. I feel better for relieving myself.
He got a flat top crew cut?
He did not quite do that, but he got a normal person haircut.
Yeah.
So,
Sam says afternoon. Mike's here. Hey, SoCal. Josh is here from Oklahoma.
Yep.
Daryl's here.
Hey, Daryl.
Alan's here. Good morning, Alan. And Bruce is here. Howdy.
Bruce, where are you from? I'm not sure I know you.
And I like his face mask now.
I do like it.
Here. Good afternoon, Richard. How are you doing?
Oh, man. Dr. Richard Greaves, Esquire. So,
all right, I had to get the coffee in me. All right, so because it might be noon where you live, but it's only 9 o'clock in the morning for me.
It is noon. It is noon where I live.
All right, we going to get into some topics? Let's
do it. Yeah.
All right. Do you remember what the first one was?
No. Oh, I asked you not to ask me that. No, I don't. You're so bad.
Here you go. And I believe this one was your topic.
Yeah.
You ready?
Go.
Sam, are you doing your homework?
And I'm not talking about at night at the kitchen table. It might be.
Okay, so what do you mean by this, Mr. Howe? Are you doing your homework?
I run into this all the time, and this came up, and actually, Marshall, you and I discussed it last night. This is from one of the gentlemen I work with, and a client he was working with one of his dealers ended up saying, I need to swap to a product. They were using a hot solvent like acetone, mineral spirits. Yes, that still happens. Whatever, irrelevant. And
Screened with, you mean, right?
yeah, and the dealer rep, for whatever reason, I don't know him, just started blurting out stuff. And the guy says, "No, I think I need to use XYZ product." Regardless if it's from a different company, it was not a product that is going to work. The guy, and this is a large company, and the sales guy takes the order, multiple drums, does the big happy dance celebration, salesman of the month thing, on that. And it ends up being just like our guy told the dealer rep, "What are you doing? Not only was I working with you for the right thing, but that is not even a product that will work in that situation. It's not going to dry. It's not going to do that." The customer is now mad, and the dealer rep had to come back and go, "Oh, you were right." So here's my deal. Yes, I'm in sales. When I'm in the shop there, yes, I want to help you. Marshall wants to help you, but this is our living. We get it. So, but technically, you have to also do your homework. You cannot just take the word of somebody on a message board and go, "I want to use that product because I heard someone else." You need to know what it does. The rep that you have, yes, you can order from anybody in the world on a keyboard, but are they helping you? Are they technically saying, what are your parameters? What are you looking to do? Here are your options that are going to work. Instead of just going, you want to use that? Okay. You had no idea. The product was 35 years old, and it just was not the fit, and it was going to cause them problems.
Right.
And, yes, I want to blame the dealer rep for not knowing. Yes, should he know? Absolutely. Don't be an order taker. If you're a dealer rep, if you're a manufacturer, don't be an order taker. Sell value, sell technical.
If you're a salesperson, Alan, right?
Absolutely.
You get don't just agree. We want to sell people stuff because that's how we make our living, right? But we also need to recognize that that might not be the best thing.
If you think, and it comes to the point from dealer reps, and I've been a dealer rep, if you give the impression by doing that all chemical is the same, all ink is the same, all emulsion is the same, it's not. Then you better need to start doing value added, or it will come back to burn you. Now, that's from the manufacturer, our side, dealer side. End user, I don't care if it's embroidery thread, machinery, screen print, HTV on there. You need to do your homework also. What are you looking for? And I'm not talking about a message board on Facebook. There's 1,000 of them. Yeah. Everybody can be an expert behind the keyboard. You do not need to take anybody and everybody's word on it. Don't take my word for it. The things I'm confident about saying, if I say something about your screens and about emulsion and stuff, I know if you go to guys that know more than me, Richard Greaves, Dave Dennings, Neil Bolding from Autotype, Dave Dennings from Kiwo, Kevin Koth from Chromaline, they're all going to agree. Jerry Chard from Yolano Kiwo. It's sound principles and fundamentals. Yeah. So my question is, guys, this is your business, and girls, this is your business. Are you doing your homework? And I'm sorry, the vibration was not that you were seeing on my camera was not a earthquake. I was actually hitting my fist on my desk a little bit. Yeah. I am passionate about this.
Right. On the other side of the coin, right, if you're selling product, right, if you're in the promotional products business, you sell apparel, whatever, there's a term that you should know. I don't know if you've heard this one, Alan. It's called brand fill. It's not brand fill, it's brand fill. So this is the stress balls. This is the little tchotchke things that everybody gets, and then we just throw it away. There's no use for this stuff. So if you're in sales, right, you're better off actually trying to solve your customer's problem.
Absolutely.
And building rapport and understanding things by asking lots of questions, and then getting them situated with alignment to solve that problem, than just being, you want a bunch of stress balls? Great, I'll take that. Right.
On the same point, I watched an interview that Thomas Tremingham did with the guy from Pyre Printing, in Pittsburgh. And you know what? He said a great.
I didn't catch that one.
I just saw it. I just saw it last night. And you know what? I know Peter Walsh is watching, but kudos to the rep that he talked to at a show. This guy went to a show, was enamored by press, and goes, oh, I want this one. And it was some big monster press. And the sales guy, thank God to him, said, yeah, that's a great press. What are you looking to do? Tell me about your business. Going, you know, as much as I'd love to sell you that, you really don't need it. Right. But you also don't need a Diamondback either. Here's the Sportsman. Right. And it worked out great. You know what?
Hey, Peter, can you find that article or whatever he's talking about and share it in the link?
It was last night on M&R's deal.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
Thomas Trimmingham. I just saw it last night. I think it just aired. Okay. But it was incredible. So, but I thought, you know, the same thing after I see, you know, Marshall and I talk about this topic, I see that and I'm like, perfect. And I hear that. I mean, it was a long interview, but he talks about that, you know what? I wasn't upsold. I wasn't downsold. The guy helped me out.
Right. Right.
And yeah.
And what you don't want is that buyer remorse situation where they're like, why?
Yeah, absolutely.
And they end up hating you, and then there's nowhere to go from that.
Yeah.
Right?
And it was awesome because Phil Trona from Pyre Press, who he interviewed with, he talked about he worked for a supplier at one time. Mm-hmm. And I remember Phil because I worked with him at that supplier for a little bit. Him and I have talked since. I actually emailed him last night, and he in fact he just replied to me. I just looked at that thing. He needs to be watching. But it was just a great interview. I actually want him on our show because he does 100% water-based. He has a niche market that he does in the band. He's doing fulfillment and just a great guy. And, you know, I knew him. I was teasing him. I go, I'm proud to say I knew you back then. And, yeah, so
great.
Just great. But you know what? I know, you know, Peter's gone through this. Richard's gone through this. Simon's gone through this. Kevin is here from Chromaline. You know, it's not always, you know, even if it has our specific label on it, you get the wrong product and the wrong application, and that customer is going to have problems.
Yeah, right.
So, and none of us want that.
The other thing I want to throw out there, because we're speaking about products, is you might have the right product, but you're using it incorrectly. And that happens all the time. And so I've done a bunch of continuous improvement projects or efficiency stuff with people. That's kind of like my deal, right? And then when I'm talking with people and they say that this ink doesn't work or this brush wash doesn't work or this, you know, degradant doesn't work, you know, I'm like, okay, well, show me, right? Yep. And it turns out they're not using it properly. Of course it doesn't work. You're not using it right. And you have to follow the manufacturer's instructions for best use.
Yep.
So that's the first place you start before you say that thing doesn't work.
Yep.
And so I think a lot of folks in this industry, they tend to take a shortcut, wouldn't you think? And
agreed.
And they're just not getting the results that they probably need because they're not using whatever it is the right way. And because maybe another product or a similar thing, you do it this way, and they think everything's the same, you know, and it's not, right?
I was actually at a shop yesterday, Marshall. When you called me, I was coming back, and it was because a dealer called me. I get this email that this client is just outrageously mad. I call him, you know, and I'm thinking I'm walking into a hornet's nest. And I asked the dealer rep, I go, did you troubleshoot this all? Did you ask him this, this, and this? He doesn't reply, tells me, I know he didn't then. And you know what? Fine. I called the guy. He was nice as can be. I said, I can be there Thursday. Oh, really? You're going to come to my shop? Yeah. That's what we do. And I went there. Is it a problem with the product? No. Was he using it wrong? He was using it. He wasn't using it totally wrong, but let's tweak the process. And now he's just all happy as can be.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. And I don't want to say that in today's world, there are reps out there that they're nothing more than order takers. And sometimes the distributors have made them that way. You know, that's their business model. I don't get it.
Well, it could be training too. They don't spend the time actually learning what they're doing.
And you know, I almost want to say, you know, when I started, you know, in the Stone Age, we had to be trained. There was no YouTube.
Hey,
There was no.
thanks, Dan.
What's that? Yeah, exactly. No, we never do. I mean, shortcuts. I'll get. Right now, I'm thinking of 1,000 of them. But
Right.
you know, I had to when I started. I didn't know a dang thing. Thank God for guys like Joe Clark. I still don't know anything. I realize the more I know, the realize how much I don't know.
Right.
But you know what? Guys like the late Joe Clark and Rick Davis and them from Wilflex, who I just listened to. And, you know, aside from I've said before, being young, angry Alan, but you know, I learned from Richard Greaves, who taught me at age 20 how to stretch a roller frame. And he was already the Richard Greaves then. He had a column, and you know, it was amazing. But you know, I had to go to what we called Newman School, Stretch Devices Newman School, for 3 days on roller frames. I had to be trained by Autotype, and it was 2 or 3 days of emulsion training at Autotype USA. And then I had the same thing from Yolano. Yeah. You know, we had to do it, and it serves me well still, and I just don't see that. Right. And you know what? I love it when I get asked, can you come train our salespeople? Absolutely. I love working with them out in the field, but then that brings added value. I know what our products do. I know what they don't do. But yeah, don't treat me as a commodity. And so as a printer, as a garment decorator, your products are not commodities that you're buying. Even things like pallet adhesive. I know there are a bunch of them, but did you know, most people don't realize that, you know what, for polyester and tri-blends, do you know there's a specialized pallet adhesive that, because it won't stick to the inside? Most people don't realize they have that. Talk to your manufacturers, find out, and just don't go, oh, this round peg fits in a square hole. No, it doesn't. Yeah. Well, if you pound more, it'll force it in. Don't do that. So right. I'm on a tangent right now, but yeah, it's everybody's working together to make you more profitable and grow your business.
Right. Hey, let's get to some comments real quick. Okay. Yep. So Ghost's Facebook thing was this: is the information environment part of the operational environment or the other way around? And he said it was supposed to be funny. So I get what you're going with there. I don't know if it's fun, but I think it's true, right?
I have to
drive our operation. So
I have to deal with the environmental part all the time. It's not fun. Yeah.
And then Sean wants to know, what did we just get off our chest? You'll find out next week.
Yeah.
Peter says, good morning. Good morning, Peter. Kevin's here. Good morning, Kevin.
We said what it is. Mark Soldonic got a haircut.
Yeah. Bruce is from Tempe, Arizona. Bruce. I love pizza. I tell you what, buddy, send me an email, and here's my email. Send me an email and let's connect, okay?
Well, yeah, what's your company? Because I'm in Arizona all the time too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mark said,
he's gonna say I was in a shop and I don't remember, and I'm gonna feel like an idiot.
Okay, it's okay if you feel like an idiot. I feel like an idiot
all the time.
A knowledgeable salesperson can be your friend and savior. Totally agree with that.
Absolutely.
Mark shared the interview. Here's the link. So if you want to see what Alan was talking about, please click. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great interview.
Simon says orders taken versus salespeople.
That's exactly it.
Cal's here. Good morning, Cal. After 7 years, we're now blue chip tees and embroidery.
All right, Cal.
Did you just add embroidery or did you just change your name?
We don't do it, but it's there.
Yeah, well, maybe they've had embroidery for 7 years and they just decided to add it. I mean, who knows, right?
Maybe they're farming it out still. Hey, great.
That was written before Alan said it. Sam's here, always here for the R&D.
Sam does great. You know, Sam covers Michigan for his company, and I'll give Sam a little shout out. Sam is always one to roll up his sleeves and get in there and do it. So,
yeah, R&D, research and development, or rip off and duplicate.
Yes, both.
Congratulations on the expansion to your business. Ray's here. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Ray from Avian.
Salesperson, how about text?
It should be the same, I think.
Yeah.
Technical sales.
And then Cal says he added embroidery. So that's great.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. Keep them coming.
Absolutely. Great.
So question 2 here, I think, is price increases. And the reason I wanted this is because Rick at the Ink Kitchen, they just posted a really great article about Sanmar had a fantastic thing about the reason why prices are going up on blanks. And
I need to read that.
They had an infographic. Let me find that real quick. And I'll share it. But one of the things I want to talk about was that we need to be thinking about maybe giving some price increases just because of what's going on in our industry. So let me share this real quick.
And Marshall, not just our industry, every industry.
Yeah. So, woo. All right. Is this visible? So this is from the Ink Kitchen blog. I'm a big fan of that. So please give this a look. This is Rick Roth, Tom Davenport, and Brett Bowden's website, right? And Rick's wife Pam wrote this, right? So it's all about this blog article that Sanmar wrote explaining why prices are going up with materials, right? The cost of raw materials, exchange rates, ocean and transportation and logistics, plus the generalized system of preference, right, with tariffs and stuff, right? So just look at this. This came from Sanmar, so kudos to Sanmar for helping out. But I just want to kind of broach the subject because I think it's really important that as an industry that we kind of look at that, and we all know that labor costs are going up. We know that ink manufacturers are right now because of the Texas freeze, they're doing a bunch of stuff. We're trying to get product reformulated because they can't keep up. I'm sure Ray can talk about that. But just look at this and understand that. And you, as an apparel decorator, don't have to take this on the chin. You can be raising your prices, but I think you need to be educating your customers as to what's going on so they can understand that also, right? What do you think about this, Alan? I know you're a supplier, right?
Oh yeah, and we haven't been hit by any of it. Wrong. It's an everyday thing. We've had to have a price increase. We actually probably should have done more, but we're holding off on. We don't want to do it anymore. But we don't think it was big enough. I don't at least. It is just. It's not corporate greed. It's nothing. It is just where the world is. The raw material, call it shortage, call it. I love that. I was looking at the graphics on that article of explaining it. It's not just one thing. It's not just Texas. It's just not the Suez Canal thing. It is a bunch of things. But everything is going up, from raw materials to everything in every industry, to containers, to packaging, to freight. It just is. And if you are not increasing your pricing to be along with it, that's fine. You don't have to, but your profit margins are dwindling then. That's up to you.
Yeah. And so I think it's really important that as business owners, we take a look at that and understand that. And fuel costs are going up. And that their price at the pump, and where does that come from? Well, that comes from OPEC, right? They're driving the price. And then your local community, you pay so much in taxes, right? Depending on where you live. I don't know, what is gas at where you live, Alan, right now?
Slightly under $3 a gallon.
I'm at $3.09. I filled up yesterday, but I shop somewhere where I can scan my card and then I can get like 40 or 50% 40, 50 cents off a gallon because of I shop at the gas station.
Right.
Store thing, right? So I don't know if that's a discount or I'm prepaying that or what. I don't know how that works.
Right.
It makes me feel better, right? But just think about your costs are going up, labor's going up, and we're going to talk about a hiring here in a minute. And I know that right now people are having to pay more to get better employees. All of our costs are going up. So I just want to make sure that you guys are thinking about this and reformulate it. And if you have given a price increase to your customers lately, can you post what you did, how you formulated that? And then also, if you've considering it but haven't done it, post about that. Or if you've got a question, post about that. We would love to get more input on this and kind of have everybody understand what everybody's doing, because we all live in different parts of the country and we all do different things. So what are you guys doing and what are you guys thinking about? So we've got some comments while we're waiting. So Dan says they're technical salespeople and they're corporate salespeople. The suits don't teach how to use the emulsion best. I like that. I order from tech salespeople. So there you go. Ray says raw material shortages everywhere due to suppliers backing off their offerings.
Yep.
And then I shared, by the way, the Ink Kitchen blog. I shared it once, but it looks like it did it twice.
It hit everything. It hit YouTube. It hit all.
There you go. Sean says $2.49 in Alpharetta, Georgia.
I'm driving to Georgia just to get gas.
Daryl says, what's the formula for increasing our prices? And then Charles says, good morning, guys. Joining late, but I'll catch up.
Hey, Charles.
So, Daryl, the formula. So what is increased for you, right? Is it just slight? Is it big? What's going on? I think you need to kind of understand where that's going to be, and then look at maybe the permanence of it, right?
Yeah.
So is it just raw material costs? Are you, like, I know you only have one employee. Are you going to add another employee? Are you going to give Griselda a raise? What are you doing, right? What is it costing you, right? You need to really understand, I think, your costs, and then you need to understand that how that affects it. And then if you're going to just put that into your pricing, or are you going to mark it up? What does it cost for you? So I think the thing to really think about is really looking at that and taking in a hard look at your expenditures and seeing what your bump is. I don't think you can just blindly go, hey, I'm going to do everything by 10%, because maybe that won't cover it.
Right.
I think you need to do the research and kind of understand it better, and then look at your average orders and what you're doing and what makes the most sense for you and that kind of stuff, and then build it into your pricing, right? Something like that. Simon says diesel in Cali is $4.40.
Yikes.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't drive diesel. So what is normally that? Is it normally $4? I mean, I have no idea.
No, diesel's always a little higher, but that's about it.
Diesel used to be cheaper.
Used to be. You just dated yourself.
Well,
yeah.
What can I tell you?
Yeah.
So what are you talking with your clients, Alan, about price increases? What do you see?
You know what? We sent it out to our dealers and everything we did.
Hey, you better answer the phone.
You know what? I can't believe I didn't turn my phone off.
I didn't do mine either.
You know what? We're new at this. So. Here we are. I forget what was the question. Oh, we had a price increase. We gave our dealers ample notice. And we're still, like, orders are coming in. People haven't updated their computers yet. It went in effect April 1st. So we're getting dealer orders going, okay, wait, you didn't, here's the new price. You were sent it, yada, yada, yada. I tried to let some of our clients know, going, look, there's going to be a price increase from your dealer. April 1, if I talk to them, you may want to order ahead of time.
Yeah.
So we
go ahead.
We actually, had one in place last year, and then when COVID came, we pulled it back. So, was almost, like I said, the same one. We probably should have bumped it a little more because of current situation, but we didn't. And we're just going to leave it there and watch and see what happens. Some of us, like with, I know Ray is probably, and Simon, the same thing, and Kevin, raw materials are it. So we are always watching our raw materials on what we can manufacture. And we haven't been hit that hard yet. EasyWay is a company in our sphere of chemistry. We are one of the largest purchasers and users. So we try to have that, but now it's coming to the point that if you order 80 tons of one product, you might get 60. So we can't produce as much, So
supply and demand scenario.
Yeah, and that's kind of what's happening now. So we're really watching that. I haven't run into problems yet. There's some possibly longer lead times on a product, but it just is. But the key, what we're doing, we've got to communicate with our dealers. We got to communicate with our customer base,
right?
And that's what everybody is. It's frustrating for everybody. We're hating it,
right?
As everybody is.
Sure. So Greg says, "Good morning."
Morning, Greg.
He calls us gentlemen. Thanks for the compliment, Greg.
He was raised better than we are.
Josh says, we went up with our suppliers 15%. We explained to the customers up front.
You have to.
If you did that, did you give them a notice that starting on this date, like a month from now or whatever, our prices are going up? Or did you just bump it up on the next order? How did you handle that? I would love to know how you handled that. That would be really great. William says, hey, y'all.
Hey, William.
So I think, it's going to be different for everybody because everybody does something slightly different in this industry. But I really see that this is something that's going to happen, especially with the shortages in labor, shortages in supplies.
Yeah.
Prices are going to go up for things. It's just a supply and demand on basically a lot of fronts at the same time, and it's kind of the same thing. So,
and everybody's trying to pinpoint it. The conversations on why it's happening. Is it the freezing shutdown of Texas? Is it the Suez Canal thing? Is it the government? Is it this? Is it that? It's not one thing. It's a bunch.
Yeah.
And it's really, Marshall, out of mine and yours control. And I've gotten to the point where I can't even try to figure it out. It's not what I'm paid to do and need to do. I need to how can I help my clients and customers best through it as best as I can.
Yeah,
and I think that's what we need to do.
Can you imagine, Alan, if we actually had that control and we're sitting here twisting our mustaches going, ooh, I've got the control.
Well, it would be you. I'd be dead of a stroke already. So, yeah.
Here's something. Pork shoulders are $1.59 a pound.
Okay, now it's getting travesty. When it's cutting into Mark's barbecuing, now we're at serious problems.
Right. So Greg says, seems all suppliers gave notice that January prices were changing from screen supplies to garments.
Yep.
Exactly. Simon, so let me ask you, Greg, did you follow suit or are you just taking it on the chin? That's the question here.
Yeah.
Right? Simon says, we didn't increase this year, but we just had to contact a bunch of customers. We got hit with an 80% increase in severe allocation on major raw material. Going to be a tough year. Packaging is impossible.
Absolutely.
Dan says, I recently increased prices and put out a notice that will be in effect on your next order that is not currently in-house. Okay. Josh answered my question. We gave a month's notice in January, put up info in shop. February 1st was the price increase. Greg says, preferred customers get a personal discussion regarding price adjustments. We are aware of which customers have programs in place with their end users and how adjustments affect them. So, Greg, let me ask you, does that mean if they have a program that you've agreed to for the year, there isn't a price increase, or you're going to work with them to kind of figure it out? What are you doing on those program customers? And then Gosa says it's $1.78 a liter for gas in Sweden.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I guess imagine if that was here in America, nobody would drive anywhere.
Well, and that's a liter was at 3 point some odd
Yeah.
liters to a gallon.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
So that's crazy. All right, so price increases. I think what we're going to now imagine. Now here's the scenario here, right? We're reopening. There are more orders that are fixing to come your way, right? And so I think this really is going to be very interesting how this handles. So or will there be a sticker shock with people when they come back if you give them a price increase? How are we handling that, right?
Right. Well, and I know this is where, Marshall, we've talked about before on payment too. So now, how much do you really want to be the bank? Well, are you doing payment up front? Because customers that pay up front are going to get preferential treatment. Unfortunately, we're on there. If you're behind in your bill and you try to place an order with us, probably not going to go out. We're going to allocate that to someone else that's current.
Right. Yeah, he goes and says he.
And unfortunately, I have to make that call to my dealers. That's a joyous one. I enjoy that. Yeah.
80% tax, Alan. Crazy.
Has he been talking to our governor? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That was wrong. Here in Michigan.
Your governor. What's up with that?
She's wonderful.
Frankly, all others increased, and I stayed steady on pricing, which gave me an opportunity to get some extra customers that were more price-driven. Just found ways around the loss. Okay,
good job.
And Greg says, work with them and phase price increases in as their programs mature.
Very good.
Program pricing is based on annual volume and order performance. Good. So that's excellent, Greg. So you're really looking at. So here's the thing: Greg's looking at the numbers and making decisions based on reality, not, hey, I'll promise you some work.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a good way to handle it. Good job, Greg. All right, I love that. Where are we on time? All right, let's go to our discussion 3, which was about, I alluded to a minute ago, reopening, right? So what I mean by this is it's spring. We're working towards summer. We're in Q2. Orders are increasing. I talk to shops all the time. Everybody's orders are up. The volume's going up. Everything is going crazy, right? And they're seeing more and more orders coming in. Okay, so here's the challenge: is do you have the infrastructure? Do you have the right people? Do you have the right systems in place?
Do you have your cash flow?
Cash flow. What's going on right now? So with your current business that's happening right now, right? What's going to happen when it's 10 times that, right? Or double that, or whatever is heading your way. There is a tsunami way of work heading toward you right now. And in this industry, what are we, 2 or 3 weeks out on orders? We can't really see past that, but you know it's coming, right? But is the tsunami wave going to happen in Q2? Is it going to be Q3, right? Is it going to be Christmas stuff? We don't really know, right? That's the crazy thing that's happening in our industry right now. We just don't know. But I really feel it's happening just based on my conversations with the clients that I talk to. Everybody's sales are up. Everybody's making more money. Everybody's got more things than they did previously. And everybody is incredibly optimistic about stuff, right? What are you seeing now? And if you're watching right now, what are you seeing, viewers? We'd love to know what's going on in your neck of the woods.
I'm seeing all of the above and then some. I have again, yesterday I was in a shop and he has 2 automatics and he just said, I am going to have to take next weekend off because it's been just a long time before he hasn't worked 14 hours. Him and his staff are just, burning it, which is great. They went from dead in the water to, oh my gosh. And he's had to turn down. He was showing me a job, a CMYK print job that the guy wanted. He didn't want to do it. Didn't want to pay for sim process. And he did some test strikes. He just couldn't get the colors right. It was going to be a nightmare customer. He just told the guy, he goes, I don't want this business. If you're not going to pay to have me do it right, I just can't do that. And so he sent it away. Yeah, and I'm good for him. Sam Bollinger knows who it is. Sam was in there earlier before I was.
Is it a large volume job?
You know what? I don't know. I don't think it was. I think it was good, but enough that he has so much going on, he just can't take the time to do that for a guy that is going to nitpick pennies on him.
Yeah,
because you knew it just never would be right, and I thought that was smart on his part. But he is there swamped. Of course, he could use people. There are people that are busy and they know it's almost like it's shaking, ready to burst open. And I'm seeing that more everywhere, where it's almost like it's ready to burst if it hasn't. And business is coming. It is there, and got to get out there and get it. So it does come to, of course, now we're into another thing, which I think is our next topic too. I don't want to get into, but yeah, it's people and employees and stuff. Yeah. So
let's wait on that just a minute.
Yep.
We'll put a pin in that. Let's just talk about getting orders and coming in right now.
Here's the other thing. Some of the shops that I mentioned this a few weeks ago that have been, that they move and adjusted during COVID for new markets and stuff, and those markets are good. Well, some of their older markets are coming back. Now, you're back to infrastructure. If they come back, you're going to be way over capacity. Yeah. Are you preparing for that? And you need to be. That is a great problem to have, but it's still a problem.
Well, here's some ideas on that, right? So if you're way over capacity, what orders are you taking that don't make sense for you? So your example where, hey, you're just a pain in the ass, see you later, right? I'm not making good money on you. I'm not going to do work with you. Or maybe you raise your minimums, right? Yeah. Or maybe you raise your prices, or maybe you do something that it's going to adjust. So when orders come in and everything, the work that you're doing is profitable. The jobs that you're taking are things that you can feel confident about saying yes to, and you're not taking on work where it's low margin, they're a pain in the butt, or it's kind of stuff that you're not really comfortable in doing. So there's a risk, right? For example, if you've never done discharge before, why take that discharge job? Right? And worry about it, and you might goof it up and everything. Maybe learn how to do discharge first and then say yes. Because there's only so many hours in the day, and if you're going to be completely booked up with stuff, say yes to the things that you can feel uber confident about pushing out with quality that you're gonna hit it, right? Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
All right. So, okay. When it happens, I pick raisins out of the cake and send the rest on to colleagues in the industry I've contacted now.
I like it.
I like that. Good. That's a good comment, right?
Yeah.
Mark says, I see a lot of shops struggling to find employees, skilled or not. Yeah, we're going to get to that.
Absolutely.
Jim's taken off. Thanks for hanging out with us, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
And then, okay, let's do this one first. Greg says order performance equals good orders, no issues, which is complete PO, user production friendly artwork, and garments arriving when promised. Greg, by the way, is a contract printer. That you have to really kind of explain that a little bit. So I think everything is coming back. Right.
It is.
What I'm worried about is that everything comes back, and now we can't get. We keep having problems where we can't get the shirts that we want. Right. And then we might have problems where we can't get the ink that we use.
And that's happening also, where people can't get ink, and it's not just one company. Yeah. It's all of them. So yeah.
So there could be kind of a weird situation going on there, right? Mm-hmm. And so. Are you talking with your rep? Do you have a good relationship with that? Do you just buy off the internet, right?
Yeah.
The internet's not going to help you, right? So I think it's really important that this is a relationship-driven business. And so do you have a good relationship with your supplier, with your supply chain? And do you have a backup?
Yep.
And I think that's really important. So
I had a dealer call me because he knew we have been in contact about what's happening with manufacturing of stuff. He said, look, I put a PO in for so many drums. He goes, my largest customer, and he told me who it was, I know them, goes through this product, a drum every week to 2 weeks. I just sent him my last one. All right, we want to take care of that person. I'm glad he can be, and so that part of the order went out to take care of that. So we made sure of that. So it's all about communication with your manufacturers, with your dealers. Nothing is a secret anymore. There are no, if you want to be secretive and hold everything close to the chest, then fine. You're on an island, and good luck when the tsunami hits.
And I think you also, if you want to be on the top of the food chain, you need to pay your bills.
Oh, absolutely.
And so if you are behind, if you are, not paying your bills and you're not looking at stuff, I know that you're going to be left in the dust to people who do. So if there is a shortage on things, they're going to take care of people who always pay their bills before they're going to take people who are, you're 45 days out on something.
Yep.
So make sure you're financially sound.
And that's hard. I know as a manufacturer, I've had end user printers ask me going, our dealer said you guys are out of product, haven't had it made. Well, I can't say no, the dealer's on credit hold, pay their bill on there. I'll just say, let me help you on someone else that might have it. And that is a tough thing because especially a dealer rep will call me and I'm not going to say you need to talk to your company and tell them to pay your bill. That's why your orders aren't going out. Right. They'll go, and usually if they're smart, they'll read between the lines on what I'm not saying. Are you guys slow on manufacturing? Nope.
So a couple comments here. Let's get to them. Dan says, same for separations. People who are new to STEM process think that if you use a professional separator, that the results will be great. They need to practice first before doing an actual customer order. Their project order could blow up. Same concept. That's exactly right. Just because you have the separations doesn't mean it's going to work if you use crappy printing technique. Yeah. Right. So, it's a big deal here to really know what you're doing. And thanks, Dan, for that comment.
And that goes for everything. And we've talked about it on specialty inks, on water base, on discharge, on there. These are great tools to have, and you need to practice and play with them if you want to. But don't wait going, I need to learn discharge because I just took an order for 600 shirts. You're going to lose that customer.
Sure.
You're going to die and hate yourself, and your employees are going to hate you.
Yeah.
So, don't do that.
So Greg says, bases are running low. I got a notice from Wilflex supplier about several makes mixing tough. Okay. So I think if Ray's still on here, hey, Ray, what's going on? Can you shed any light for Greg? Don't want to throw Ray under the bus, but I'm just curious. So here's an idea here. If you're using an ink mixing system, did you know that you can, if you wanted to mix PMS, a maroon, like 202 or something, how much 186 do you have? You could reformulate an already mixed color and remix that, reuse it, right? So that's a process that might get you through if you need it. The other thing is, instead of trying to find the bases as a temporary thing, are there some ready for use colors that you might switch to, right? And just say, hey, we can't use that color right now. We're going to have to use this. Will this be acceptable? And maybe that's the route that you have to take in a temporary thing while these ink companies figure out what they're doing their bases. You're going to have a backup plan, I think.
And there's no more time. Sorry, Marshall, I didn't mean to interrupt you. This is not a time where it used to be you could count on your dealer for JIT, just in time ordering. No more on that. You need to. If you're using Wilflex Amazing Base and you normally keep a 5, you just work out of a 5, you better have a backup 5. Yeah. Always. So when they get it in, get it.
Yeah.
And if you need cork base and I just need a gallon, you better get 2. Yeah. And I love what you said about recycling, because I know on the Wilflex IMS mixing system, I don't know about Rutland's and Monarchs and all that, but hopefully I know Wilflex has a recycling feature on it where you can put what ink on, and it's awesome. Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
I know it exists, because
I knew you did. So, yeah.
17 or 18% of the inks that we used, I recycled colors that we never used, or you mix a half gallon and you can reuse it, and that way you don't have ink sitting on the shelf that you never use, and that kept our costs lower. Right, that was part of a program that I did. All right, so Yosa says pictures show last year's youth summer camp. Everyone had a sticker with the name on their chest. I said we'll come in with a press cutter on vinyl, so it's right. Okay, good.
Perfect.
And got the order and more. Good job.
We love and more.
Greg, me and the banks made a deal. I will not loan money, credit, and they will not print shirts. I do not extend credit. Hey, I love that. Greg.
I love that. Yeah.
Jacob said, "Hey, Jacob, how are you? Just got a new RIP software. I'm getting moire and halftones on a 156, but if I go up a mesh count, I don't have moire anymore. How can I anticipate moire and halftone artwork? There's no magic halftone angle to shape to fix it universally." Well, first, actually, there is, right?
Yeah.
So remember, your threads of your screen are 0-90, right? So what halftone angle are you using? I always use 63.4 for sim process for all of the screens, because I wouldn't have moire. Now, here's the issue here is moire can be on the frequency of your dot. I like a 50 line dot. That's what I like. I'm sure Dan probably has a recipe he can help you with also. And the rule, of course, is the rule of 4. So you multiply your dot size by 4. So on 156, you might have to go down a little, maybe to like a 45 or something, and that way it'll work with that screen mesh. Because a 50 line dot, I would want at least a 200.
And actually, Marshall, on the unit of 4, on your line count and stuff, working for a emulsion manufacturer, I always went 4.5 on it.
There you go.
So on the line count, because you always want that dot hitting at least two threads.
Yeah,
somewhere. So that's going to tell you. Most people, I think you found just by chance, you went up in mesh count and the moire went away. And it probably tells me right there what it was.
Yeah, and then also elliptical dot. And
absolutely,
if you're using film, okay, if you don't have a CTS unit, how you put your film on your screen, that's you wonking around with the film a little bit. Sometimes that causes moire. So if you go to a CTS unit, you never have moire again, because it's a machine doing it, not some dude in the screen room.
Right. So, if you look down, Jacob just posted, or Greg just posted too.
Right. 230, 305, exactly. Not for process node, so we use ellipse at 22.5.
Perfect.
There's also the weave of the knit.
That's the other thing.
Greg says 22.5 at 55.
So if the moire is in the print a lot of times, but not in your screens on there is a thing. And I remember when I first saw it on a shirt, I could not believe it. I couldn't figure it out. I took a picture and I sent it to, Marshall, we always say we don't know everything. I hang out with guys who know more than me. And I immediately sent the pictures to Richard Greaves and Lon Winters. They both responded right back going, that's the weave of the shirt. And you can get moire from there. And the goal in the fix is you're going to have to go up a mesh count or down a mesh count. Mm-hmm. Plain and simple. So, yeah. Because you're not going to change shirts.
So that's what Daryl meant by this.
Yep, absolutely.
So, I like a chunkier dot. I've always used a 50, right? And I know a lot of people, they go way higher than that. But I just, for a T-shirt, I think it helps just to have a bigger dot and use not like a 305, but a lower mesh. And that way you get more ink down. That's what I liked, especially with simulated process, because I like to blend the colors on the shirt and have them do stuff, right? So
right. And I'm going to slide down. Jacob just said something, and on
the screen. I'm going to experiment with thin thread. I think that might do it. Well, thin thread is going to allow you to add more ink down, right? And
if you don't have those fundamentals, go the unit of 4. What's your line count? And you're still going to need to do that. So, yeah, I'm not sure the thin thread will help.
Yeah, old guys that started with camera shots like 32 and a half and 42 and a half because that was either 65 or 85 halftone shot at 50% on the stack camera.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, stack cameras, how we remember those.
Yeah. And then Dan says there is such a thing as mesh interference as well. That's common with the halftone work on static frames. It looks like moire on the screen. In the screen, that is mesh interference. It's stretched incorrectly. Torque to one corner more than intended. Exactly, Dan. I forgot that.
Right.
So, and that's why if you shot it on a different screen, sometimes it goes away because it's the frame that you're using. It's that actual screen.
Right.
There you go. And then instead of 156, 196 thin thread.
He's still not telling us what his line count is.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So we've got 5 minutes left and we never got to our fourth thing. It's probably too much, but let's do it anyway, which is hiring.
Who's hiring? Who everybody raises their hand right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me tell you, I get probably twice a week, somebody's reaching out to me about, hey, I need a press operator or a production manager or a salesperson or an artist or whatever. And I'm telling you right now that these people are like a unicorn.
Yeah.
And what I bet you're going to have to, these days, you're going to have to grow your own. You're going to have to find people who can fit your culture in your shop that you can teach, and you're going to have to grow them. Whereas the people who know how to do this stuff in this industry, they're working somewhere. And the only way they're going to come work for you is that you're going to give them a significant amount of money to move.
They are real estate right now. And you're going to pay way above asking price for them if you want them. And they have stuff. And they don't come with any baggage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
they always come with baggage. What do you mean?
Absolutely. Because we're human beings. We all have baggage.
Right. Yeah.
So, absolutely. Just
think about what you're doing and what you need. And then if you're advertising, probably from what I understand, Indeed's working really well. Facebook works great. Your network of people, your employees, your vendors, they are fantastic about it. One of the things that I recommend is getting your employees to help you search, because a lot of times they know somebody, and then paying a bonus, $200 or $250 or whatever, at that employee's 90-day review. That's when they earn the money, and then that goes to the employee that recommended them. Right?
Absolutely.
And also do our signing bonus the same way. Right.
Yep.
But it's looking for a needle in a haystack right now. And let me tell you, you need to start now, because even if you started now interviewing, it could be a month from now before you actually hire that person.
Right.
Get on it. So
Absolutely.
If you're hiring right now and you're having success, what did you do? Post it.
Yeah. How did you find a person?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
All right. So a couple more comments here about the mesh. Jacob says instead of 156, 196 thin thread. Okay. Jake, he also says always use roller frames, and my tension is always to manufacturer settings. Make sure
your mesh is straight if you're doing it, unless you're using panels.
Yeah. But, and Greg says, oops, do that backward. 200%, not 50.
Thank you.
Applause. Back to the grind. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Greg, for hanging out. Appreciate you.
Hey, we probably should mention, Marshall, we had Greg on last week, and it was amazing.
It was amazing.
And we had
that on my YouTube channel, Marshall Atkinson YouTube channel. Go back and watch it. Right.
And,
great.
And I don't know about you. I had people asking, when is Greg going to come back and finish it? Because we never got through all the points. Right. And he is now scheduled for May 21st to come back.
Right.
So, yeah, we did not forget about that. Mm-hmm. May 21st, he's going to finish that. Just incredible. Go back and watch the YouTube if you haven't. It was gold.
Yeah, right. Well, hey, we're kind of out of time, I guess. So hopefully we answered all your questions. If you have some left over, okay, here's Alan's email address.
Feel free.
I'm sure it will happily help you. And then here's mine.
That's what I do.
Yeah, Marshall@MarshallAtkinson.com. Would love to help you guys. Would also, just the final plug here, would love to see you guys join Shirt Lab Tribe. We do a lot of great learning stuff in there, helping people out. Next week, who do I have next week? Oh, I got Kevin Kauth with Chromaline on Thursday doing a whole presentation about differences in emulsion.
And we actually have Kevin scheduled too for May 7th.
Right. Yeah.
Chromaline here. So I'm very excited about that.
Plug.
And we might as well go through the list.
It's YouTube/Marshall Atkinson.
Yep.
So I have a link to that here.
And then also too, so we might as well, we know next week everybody needs to watch, but the 30th of April, Andy Rudman from Shirt Kong, he's also a co-host on the Shirt Show. We're booking him.
Yeah, right. We got a lot of big plans, folks.
All the cool people.
But in the meantime, thank you so much for spending an hour with us. We appreciate you. And whether you're watching this live, which is what we want, right?
Yep.
But more importantly, if you're watching this as a recording, we appreciate you also. So thank you so much.
And I think, more people watch it as a recording. We love that. Thank you so much. Go find it and share it.
Right. Okay, cool. So what are you doing this weekend now? Anything fun?
We are actually, as a family, we did not have Easter because of my brother and his family were on vacation, didn't get back. And so we are actually doing Easter, a brunch like we always do on Sundays. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Doing like a ham and the whole thing?
My stepmom is Polish, so there'll be, if it's a normal one, there'll of course be eggs, but a couple kinds of good Polish sausage. Kishka will be part of it, which is actually a blood sausage.
Yeah.
Which is very good. When I remember my nephews, when I moved back from Pennsylvania home and went there, one of the first ones, the nephews were older, but I go, Kishka, I go, that's the blood sausage. And they looked at me, it's because my nephews didn't know it was blood sausage. They just thought it was good. They know it is now. But we have that. So it's pierogies, it's potato pancakes, it's good stuff. Yeah. Lots of food. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with family. We haven't done it since Christmas.
Yeah.
And a little different as like I said, right before 2 days, day before Christmas Eve, my father passed away. So we were together. It was good. We needed to be, but we're all looking forward to getting together. So,
well, there's nothing better than family. I love it.
Absolutely. So, but then next week, busy. Lots going on. I know for you too, Marshall. Things are opening up, and it's
loaded up. So
I can't wait to trade shows and seeing everybody. Start looking, people. Shows are going to be happening coming up, so be looking, and I'll let you know where I'm going to be. Would love to see people.
Yep. All right. Well, cool. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And we appreciate you as always. And we'll see you next week. Thanks a lot.
Have a great week. Be safe, everyone.
All righty. Bye.